Hello everyone. In this video, we're picking out and sharing the latest topics about Asia. From one of the most famous Reddit-style forums in Japan. Even if you don't understand Japanese, we've translated everything into English subtitles and audio. So you can join the conversation as if you were in Japan. So, let's dive into the discussions happening in Japan. China's President Xi Jinping urged officials at all levels on the 12th to meet the government's annual growth target. On Wall Street, many economists are beginning to predict that the Chinese economy will not achieve this year's growth target of around 5%. One economist said, Xi Jinping's remarks seem related to the weak data we've seen over the past few months, adding a sense of urgency.
Xi probably doesn't even know what he's talking about. He thinks everything will be fine if he just says it. China is in a state of rigor mortis. No one trusts the numbers China puts out anyway. They'll just release some fudged numbers. Personally, I'm curious about how they'll rig the numbers. They've been stealing intellectual property worth trillions of dollars every year. So it's not surprising if their economy grows a little. You can reach the goal if you use a lot of correction fluid. The Great Leap Forward is starting again. That comes to mind. Seriously, he's like a second Mao Zedong. They should just increase the consumption of party members. Are they going to build more meaningless buildings? A leader with no ideas shouting at everyone to increase performance. But the people under him are even less capable. It's a comedy. No wonder China's official announcements are fraudulent. Local governments get demoted if they report the real numbers. So they only report inflated figures. It's not like the old days, where you could crush farmlands and make steel or densely plant wheat. So, local governments would borrow money and sprinkle it around. Raising the GDP through debt, that's probably all they can do. But I hear they don't have money, so that's not possible either. So basically, Xi Jinping hasn't been ousted. If he had been, he'd be locked up in some hospital somewhere. Civil war seems close, but not quite yet. If they make an example of someone soon, that'll be bad. You have to make requests to get 4.7% growth? What a country! What do they have besides real estate? EVs? Appliances? LCD panels? Shipbuilding? I thought about including steel, but they're already being called out for dumping. So I'll hold off on that. Private companies and research firms report fake numbers to the government. The local governments further inflate those numbers. And the central government collects all this and reports even more inflated statistics. In other words, the real numbers never existed in the first place. It reminds me of when Berlin was on the verge of falling, and Hitler was giving impossible orders, pointing at maps and moving troops around in a frenzy. China is supposed to be a superpower by 2040. By 2040, if the Chinese Communist Party still exists, they might just be the world's biggest debtor. Paraphrased, make it look like we're growing enough to attract foreign investment without being caught. Even in this situation, the IMF said, China's economic growth is solid and a driving force for the world economy. On top of that, they're positive about their cheap product, offensive centered on manufacturing and exporting deflation to the world. What are they being fed? IMF and OECD are just talking about the numbers the country itself provides. Bad debt is like a cavity or cancer. It doesn't go away just by ignoring it and hoping everything else gets better. If you don't identify and remove it, there's no way to fix it.
Did you find this video interesting? We'll keep bringing you fun topics from Japan's online community. Please subscribe to the channel and drop some comments.